illegal.
Well, it's been a place for shoppers to visit for the past 52 years, but the future of Chapel Hill Mall in Akron could be in jeopardy. News 5 has learned Summit County is beginning foreclosure proceedings against the mall. As Bob Jones tells us, that big news comes as another blow to store owners caught in the middle of unpaid electric and water bills.
Paying utility bills on time isn't the only problem. According to county officials, the owner of the mall owes $166,000 in back taxes and will receive a new bill for $106,000. And now the Summit County fiscal officer is planning to initiate foreclosure action.
Hi everybody, welcome to Akron, Ohio. Welcome to the Chapel Hill Mall. Boy, do I have a lot to talk about in this one. Anyway, we're here today in Akron, home of the famous Rolling Acres Mall, which no longer exists. And the reason I even bring that mall up is the fact that with the troubles that Chapel Hill is facing, this could very well be heading down the same path that Rolling Acres went. And as for those troubles, I'll get into that in just a moment. But first, I wanted to mention some history about this place. The mall was opened in 1967. It originally featured an O'Neill's, which became the May Company store, then became Kaufman's, and then Macy's, which closed in 2017. Sears was here. They closed in 2016. And even though this video you're seeing was filmed in January, since I filmed this video, the JCPenney, which was the last anchor, has announced that it would be closing by April 24th. And given the situation with the pandemic going on, I'm not sure if it closed early or if it will resume liquidation once malls and stores reopen. But once that is gone, this mall will have 0 anchors left for 2020. So, and given the pandemic, this mall is already troubled. I don't know if or how well this mall will survive after we emerge from the pandemic, but it was struggling pretty badly to begin with. And unfortunately, one of the problems that resulted in that was right off the start, where if you're familiar with the Akron area, it was kind of over-malled with Rolling Acres Mall, the Summit Mall, which was built and opened by the Di Bartolo Group just before the Chapel Hill Mall opened. So you had 3 malls in pretty close proximity, and only the strongest survive. Because to my knowledge, Summit Mall is doing quite well. Now, in 2019, this mall started facing a lot of issues with back taxes and unpaid bills. As a matter of fact, here's that JCPenney I was telling you about, which is now closed, or will be resumed closing. Anyway, in 2019, the mall fell into a state of not being able to pay its light and water bills, and electricity was actually turned off at the mall, I think a couple of times, but was restored quickly. Aside from the unpaid utility bills, they also owe back taxes of over $160,000. And Cohan, the people that own this mall, another great company that owns malls, as we are joking here, they actually have stated that they are making payments and are trying to get out of foreclosure proceedings, which they are currently sitting in with this mall. However, and oddly enough, I'm still trying to figure this one out, Cohan, that owns Chapel Hill Mall and about 29 or so other malls around the country, a couple of months ago purchased the Ashtabula Town Square Mall in Northeast Ohio for $10 million. Now, let that sink in for a minute. They had $10 million to buy another mall, but can't pay the bills at this one. I don't understand. Quite frankly, I was concerned when we were here at the mall back in January. We were at the Spencer's, which is now closed as well. Several stores have closed since we were there, but I remember specifically at Spencer's, one of the employees actually said that she thought the whole mall was closing then, not just their store, based on rumors that were going around. And that wasn't the case, obviously, but it's quite concerning when employees of the stores in the mall actually assume that the whole place is going to close. People refer to this as becoming the next Rolling Acres. At the rate it's going, it's not out of the question. I don't want to see that happen, but I can't possibly rule out that it will happen or not. Okay, now getting back into some info about the mall. Again, as I had mentioned, the mall opened up in 1967. The mall is over 860,000 square feet in size, which makes it a moderate-sized mall, despite only having 3 anchors. if you noticed already, one of my shots here, the corridors are very long. It's mainly a T-shaped mall, which would explain for the long corridors. Again, as I had mentioned, the mall is owned by Cohan Retail Investment Group. Management is McKinley Management Company, but the developer and the people that built this mall was Richard Buchhauser, if I'm saying that correctly, or Buchhauser, of Four City Enterprises. They continued to own the mall until 2004, when it was then sold to CBL and Associate Properties, who owned it until 2014, and then from there it was purchased by Cohan, and the decline began. This mall was planned out in 1963 to be built and become Akron's first mall, but as I had mentioned earlier, the Di Portolo Group built the Summit Mall on the other side of Akron, which was able to open before Chapel Hill did. Chapel Hill got its name because in the 1930s, young Richard Buchholzer appeared to be an old Indian council circle on his father's land, in which the mall sits. And again, my apologies if I am mispronouncing that last name. In the 1980s, plans were to include a Higbee's into the mall. A plan was considered in 1988 by part owner Four City Enterprises for the addition of the department store. A front page story in January of 1990 edition of the Akron Beacon Journal read, "Higbee's coming to Chapel Hill Mall. The store, along with a food court and additional retail space, would open by fall 1991. In 1994, the food court was added, and the retail expansion that exists today. New flooring and ceiling tiles, a new fountain and lighting were also added. Before the mall even opened in 1967, J.C. Penney, one of the original anchors, was already operating as of 1966. O'Neill's moved in and became an anchor until it transferred over to the May Company in 1989. May Company, which is the parent company of O'Neill's, Kaufman's, and Macy's, operated under that name until 1993, when they then switched it over to Kaufman's until 2006. At that point, Macy's took over until they had closed in 2016 or 17. Sears was also the third anchor, which opened up in 1967, and they closed in 2017 as well. There used to also be a movie theater at this mall. It opened in October of 1966 as a 2-screen theater, and eventually expanded to 5. In the 80s, General Cinemas, which owned the movie theater in the mall, opened up an 8-screen multiplex just outside of the mall. And in 1996, Regal Cinemas, which you saw in the beginning of this video, opened up their 10-screen theater immediately south of the mall. Less than 2 weeks later, the cinemas in the mall closed, and Old Navy took over the former theater until it closed in 2016. This mall also featured a Woolworth until 1997. It was later occupied by Gap, which also closed. Now, as I had mentioned, when I was here in January, it was right after the holidays, which would explain why you've seen multiple displays that had Christmas items, Christmas displays, that sort of thing. And it was really a dead time of the year, even though this was on a Saturday afternoon, usually the peak day for shopping at a mall. It wasn't too crowded, but it also wasn't too dead here. But it's still alarming how many empty tenants are at this mall. To be honest, I was quite surprised to actually see the carousel up and running, as a couple of people were on that. So that was nice to see. I do like the characteristics of that too, that they have the carousel located right in the food court, right by the huge entrance, the huge big windows and doorways there that you see from the highway and that you saw at the beginning of my video. Now, unfortunately, as for the food court itself, many of the locations here aren't open anymore. When I was here, I really couldn't tell if they were just closed for the day or if they're closed for good and they just never took down their signage. But it appeared that way. I did like The aesthetics in the food court as well, up in the rafters there with the colors, the banners, and the big disco ball, which I've never seen at any other mall I visited. So it was pretty pleasant to see. It's just a shame that it's in a mall that faces foreclosure and the future of the place is uncertain. I certainly don't want to see this mall close or die, but it's hard to ignore the fact that it's heading that direction, with the fact that bills are going unpaid and electric was getting turned off and the mall's in foreclosure. It's hard to be optimistic about this place. It also doesn't help matters that when you go down towards the Sears side of the mall, you get that very musty smell, the smell of mold down that way. It wasn't terrible, but it was definitely potent. Now, again, I mentioned I was here in January. Since I filmed this, several other YouTubers have been here. A lot of locals in Ohio have filmed this as well. And they may have more updated videos than I do. So if you want to see updated pictures and video of the mall, just type in Chapel Hill Mall on YouTube and you're going to get dozens of results. Several friends of mine have filmed this for their respective channels as well, and they kept begging me to get out to this mall to film it for mine and so I could finally see it. So I was happy to finally be able to do so in January. Who would think in April 2020 I would be very wishful to go back to January to be able to do this? As we all know, all malls are closed right now for the immediate future. How they will reopen, when they will reopen, it's just a matter of time. And boy, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to just go to any mall, but I would like to come back to this mall and just walk its corridors one more time. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up talking. I've been blabbering on for long enough, and you're probably getting sick of hearing me talk. So with that said, I'm just going to play some music for you guys, and towards the end of the video, you'll get to listen to the carousel for a few seconds longer without any music or anything. And then the funny little surprise I saw on the door as I was exiting the mall. Alright guys, well thanks for watching everybody. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy the video, give the video a like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy my content and the videos that I put out, and you want to help the channel any way you can do so by going over to patreon.com, and you can help support the channel by contributing as little as $1 per month. Every dollar goes back into filming these videos for you guys. And with that said, we have a lot of trips planned for this year once all the lockdowns and virus goes away. And we're excited to bring the videos that we will have coming. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Take care. Stay awesome. And on Kayla's behalf, have a Kmartlicious day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody. Stay tuned for what I got coming up next.
extensions or whatever.
Oh, is that so? Well, now. Oops. Oh well. It's kind of too late for that.